have one rule in my house with my kids. No racial slurs out of their mouths. None. Ever. My kids aren't even allowed to use the word vinegar with the hard R. Oh yeah. They gotta be like, hey Dad, can you pass the vinegar?
Elon Gold is on the Adam Carolla show.
Elon's got a stand-up special out. Elon Gold's
Also,
40-minute comedy special.
I don't let my kids say Snickers. If Snickers is their favorite, and then I always teach them to be polite. I don't ever want to hear them saying Snickers, please. You understand?
Snickers, please.
I don't want. By the way, it's my son's 18th birthday today. My son is 18. Isn't it? You're supposed to say, "Wow, you look amazing."
Wow, you look amazing.
And I have a 24-year-old, and I have a daughter who's married now.
Really?
20. She got married.
Jesus.
Last month, my daughter got. I have a son-in-law. You know what the law is? I have to pay their rent.
I don't know what the fuck happened to kids and rent, and I have these conversations every day, which makes me sound like an old asshole. But like when you get divorced, my kids are both 18 and a half. You get divorced, there's a lot of stuff. Who's going to take care of the kids? Like who's going to? You got to give them like an apartment building or something. Like what about the kids? What about the kids? I go, I don't know. You can get a job. You can graduate high school,
and then
you can get a job, and then you can go do something. I don't know. What do you mean? What? Why is it incumbent upon me to set up kids for the rest of? By the way, there's a whole table of like lawyers and ladies. They're just looking at you, going, What are these kids going to do? They're going to get old, and then they're going to get a fucking job, or they're going to be junkies. Right. I don't know.
Right.
But they'll fucking figure it out. What am I supposed to do? Just work into my 90s so they can have shit because they don't feel like working?
I don't think it's about you working for them to have stuff. I think that because I feel the parental pressure of setting them up.
They need to be set up.
My connections will help them with getting things. You know what I mean? And people do that all the time.
No, I get. Listen, you want to do sports? I'll interview.
You're going to make a call.
Bill Simmons is a friend, and he can maybe get you a job on this podcast. Okay.
Exactly.
Sorry, Mayhem. News. Sorry.
We got some news. A convicted double murderer is set to die by firing squad in South Carolina on Friday. The first execution of its kind in the U.S. in the last 15 years.
I don't get why we argue over firing squads all the time. Like, we go, we'll do lethal injection, but then somebody's a conscientious objector, which should be a conscientious injector, and they go, I'm not going to provide anything. I took a Hippocratic oath, and then we go, well, the problem is it stops the breathing, but sometimes the guys choke and convulse on their own saliva. It's like, give him the fucking firing squad then. How are you going to miss this guy's melon head?
Yeah.
You're never going to miss this guy's head. And you know what I would do? I would go, listen, we'll give you a choice. Lethal injection's off the table. Electric chair, too big a draw.
Can we push you off a building?
Yeah, I'll give you a pistol and you can handle it like Hitler if you like.
Yeah, a machine gun.
Yeah, well, the problem is at some point they'll fire back at you if we give them a machine gun.
Right.
I mean, you only need one bullet. No, you never empty the whole clip in your head. But you can go out like Eva Braun and Hitler did. I'll give you a fucking cyanide.
Like this?
Yeah, under the chin. I'll give you a cyanide capsule. You can do what Nazi generals did, you know? Like, or we'll shoot you and do the whatever. But why are we arguing all the time? Like, it has to be humane. I don't know. I don't know about killing people humanely. Most people are not killed humanely.
Right.
Whoever this guy killed was not given a lethal injection and having a priest standing by them, right?
Right.
He fucking put a shiv in someone's liver or something.
He killed his ex-girlfriend's parents. Tied them up, then beat them with a baseball bat.
That had to be great. If that's the way you go with your wife, like this guy's beating you to death, it's insane. In separate rooms. But your last discussion with your wife while you're dying is going to be an argument. I told you this guy was bad. I told you. Oh, you wouldn't listen. Wait. Heart of gold. Heart of gold, you said. You said, I'm happy. Man. You said you wanted grandkids. Remember I told you I had this bad... Hold on. I'm being beat with a bat. Hold on a second. Okay. Hold on with the bat for 1 second. Remember that time Carol brought him home, and I was like, I don't trust this guy. And you're like, I think he has kind eyes. Kind eyes. I'm being beaten to death with a bat by Mr. Kind Eyes over here. So, all right, we'll just go into the great beyond with one last argument, but let's let it know for eternity who is right. All right, continue with the bat beating now, sir. Go on. Thank you.
Only 3 inmates in the U.S. have been executed by firing squad since 1976, with all of them taking place in Utah.
What is the firing squad like?
The methodology is 3 volunteers will fire at
Only
him through
3?
a small opening in the death chamber.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he'd be strapped to a chair, have a hood placed over his head, and a target placed over his heart. I say they make him look at it like a
target over the heart.
Oh,
yeah.
You don't see the guy. Oh, interesting.
He has to wear a hood. That's weak sauce. If you're like man enough to kill people, then you're man enough to die.
Right.
Yeah. Also,
I also picture the guy who's like the tag along guy. Hey, we going to the gun club Sunday? Yeah, it's like a gun club. You just show up.
know where it's going.
It's right there. You see that? Just shoot above in that
target.
hole, and then you don't know.
I didn't know they did it that way. I was picturing like hay bales out in the courtyard.
Yeah, no,
you know?
I was surprised at the methodology too. The weird thing is that he requested the unusual punishment after fearing the electric chair would burn and cook him alive, and then he heard 3 previous inmates took more than 20 minutes to die after receiving the fatal dose of phenobarbital.
Ah, see.
So he,
You know what's funny?
He's fearful.
Here's what's funny about our society. Like, if this guy was facing the fire squad or just put to death in California, they'd be like, we're going to strap you to an electric chair. We're going to give you the firing squad. And I go, okay. Any last request would be like, could I have a cigarette? No, sorry. That's a little dangerous. Yeah, there's third-hand smoke. They would literally outlaw smoking on the way to being executed with a firing squad in California.
Correct.
100% would not allow smoking. There would be an issue if somebody wanted a cigarette before they were put to death.
And they would find a way. By the way, I was just in Israel, and you know how the quintessential Israeli cab driver just smokes. Like, could you imagine getting into an Uber, a guy smoking cigarette after cigarette? The entire car is filled up. I'm asking him, like, can you open the window?
What is?
Right, and he goes, why you want it open? I go, the smoke. He goes, smoke? It's good for you. And I'm like, no, it's not. And he goes, what? Tell me what's good for you. And I go, I don't know, like vegetables, fruit. He goes, fruit. Fruit has a lot of sugar. You know what has 0 sugar? Smoke. That really happened.
When you see, I believe it. It's also weird when you go back and you see like old movies and stuff. Like, I was watching Laurel. Oh no, not Laurel and Hardy. Sorry, I was watching Abbott and Costello in the Jack and the Beanstalk. It came on TV. I don't know why, but it came on, and I just started watching it, like a movie from the 40s or the 50s. And they get jobs as babysitters, and they come walking into this home. And they're walking in the home. They go, all right, we'll be back at 11. Now watch your child. And they go, all right. And the guy, the couple leaves. And Costello or Abbott or whatever, they look down. They go, oh, cigars. Don't mind if I do. And he like pulls a cigar out and he just starts to light. He's standing in these people's living room.
But that's not the bit.
Puffing on a cigar.
Right.
And I'm watching and go, could you imagine babysitting at someone's house? You just come in and light up a stogie and the kids standing there.
And the cigar lighting wasn't the bit.
No.
That's the point.
That wasn't the joke. That was just space work. That was just something to do in these people's living room.
Correct.
Yeah, versus just standing there with your hands by your side the whole time. Cigar, don't mind if I do. And he's just puffing away, and I'm sitting around and go, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, times have changed. We have a special guest.
My next guest, she's a funny young woman. She's making his. I'm glad you're all in a good mood tonight. By the way, I'm glad. Remember when he said that?
Yeah.
He always said before a comedian, I'm glad you're all in a good mood tonight. We've got Carolla here. She's playing the Yuck Yucks in Toronto on April 12th to the. No, where is she? Is she really? Does she have dates?
She's got dates. She's going to be
Someone's
Hermosa
now
Beach.
on the Yuck Yucks.
She's gonna. I mean, she's done Letterman 25 times.
That's nuts.
By the way,
that with a condom.
Huh? Oh, with the condom. The Letterman show. Sorry. Took me a second. All right.
You know, she dated Jerry and worked for Jerry and worked on Seinfeld and worked on Seinfeld.
That's why
you understand?
we talk. That's She's here, by the way.
Okay, so
yes, that's funny that we talked about Seinfeld so much, and then she's coming in. So I will ask her about that. All right, so they stand 15 feet away, according to the graphic I saw, and they shoot him through a hole in the whatever. And then the question is sort of like, do they do it Mafia Hit style where they like put plastic down, and had him sit in a folding chair? Or do they just come in and mop up? Like what? This dude's a load, you know what I mean? Like somebody's going into the room and somebody's got to show up with a stretcher or a pallet jack or something, you know what I mean? Like I would put a pallet in front of him and a pallet jack, and I just go, your fat ass going to fall forward, you're going to land on this pallet, and then we're just going to work you out like we work at a Costco. Sorry.
I like it. I never knew there were firing squads.
Oh, we have Jack and the Beanstalk with Abbott Costello for some
some
unknown.
Does he light up?
Unknown reason. Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Now the kid puts a roller skate in front of the door.
So he slips. It's a Home Alone thing.
And he's got his little baby brother, and he's sitting there.
High class, huh?
Oh, wow.
Cigars.
Wow.
Yeah, don't mind if I do.
Music to my ears. My first victim. Duty calls. See you, Mr. Dingle.
Again, the cigar is not the joke.
No, the two guys show up to babysit in a suit and tie. The one guy lights a cigar. You know what I said? All right, you can pause it. All right,
There it goes. That slips. Yeah.
I babysat in the 70s.
Yeah.
In the 70s. For Reevy and Ronnie, Israelis. Mm-hmm. And then Adam.
Where was
other
this?
Jewish neighbors. Everyone was a Jew.
What neighborhood was it?
North Holiday. Mm-hmm. I got $1 an hour. There was one of me, and I was 13. $1 an hour. Abbott Costello are babysitting 1949. There's two of them, and they're adults. How much are they making?
What are they getting?
Are they getting like?
And they have to split it.
They've got to split a nickel
Could you
an hour.
imagine splitting your dollar?
I was 13. I'd babysit for 4 hours. I get $4, and I'd just go, that's enough. I can buy some candy or something. It wasn't enough to get a go-kart or anything. I didn't have. It was just a little walking around money. That was all I had. In 1949, babysitters had to be 18 cents an hour, and you got to split it with two middle-aged adults?
Nuts.
All right. Sorry.
How do you buy cigars with that kind of...
Well, you steal them from the guy who owns the house. All right, Carol Leifer, let's do one more out there.
All right. With kid offered Google job out of high school, but got rejected by 16 colleges. Now he's suing for discrimination. High-achieving student is taking legal action against several universities, alleging racial discrimination. Stanley Zhang, a 19-year-old from Palo Alto, California, boasts a 4.42 GPA and a near-perfect SAT score of 1590.
I don't like this GPA over 4.
Doesn't make sense.
It's the fucking coach yelling, I need 110%. Like, no, you don't. It's 100. We're maxed out at 100. It's 4. You can stop at 4.
Stop at 4.
Yeah. That's it. Right, Tom?
How many slices of pizza? 9. There's 9. He's got 9. 9.
I was at the home show.
Yeah.
I swear to God. You think, okay, he's got a 4.2 GPA. It just stops at 4. It needs to stop at 4. You can't give 110%, but if you want something that's even more infuriating, but not to you two with no building skills, in the woodworking world, in the world of hardwoods, dimensional lumber, I'm talking not engineered lumber, I'm talking about hardwood, I'm talking about the real tree fallen dimensional lumber.
Yeah.
When I'm talking to the person at the home show and I'm asking, they're going, we use real wooding on the wood on our cladding on the side of the. I go, what size wood planks do you use? They go, we do 5/4. I go, 5/4. Yeah, 5/4. Now I know this from if you go to a hardwood shop and you buy wood, they have 3/4, but 1 inch is 3/4. When you go to the Home Depot and you go, give me a 1x6, you don't get 1x6, you get 3/4 by 5.5. Mm-hmm. That's how it works. So if 1x is 3/4, then what is a true 1 inch? It's 5/4. because 1 inch is 4/4, but 1 inch is 3/4. So they call it 5/4. And I go, you understand that's not real. It's not a thing. You can break something up into quarters, but you can't have 5 of them. That's 20%, not 25%. So in the world of lumber, a true 1 inch thick is not 4/4, it's 5. And that is equivalent to 110%.
I can't. That's amazing. I can't believe you used that analogy to this Jewish person.
I know.
Who doesn't know from lumber. Who's never been inside of a Home Depot.
You know.
Yes. Costco will go. We'll go to Costco.
You know that
Costco, sure. But Home Depot, it's not for us. Costco, yeah. We love bulk. Give me 13 of everything. But
Gilbert,
yeah.
Yeah. Everyone knows that a 2x4 is not a 2x4.
Okay.
That you know,
Fine.
right?
Fine.
And you know that a 2x4 is 1.5 inches by 3.5.
Okay.
Weird.
And 2 being 1.5 inches is just 3/4 and 3/4. So they call it a 2, 1 and 1, but
give the 110%.
it's always 3/4.
This is the perfect analogy to the wrong guy.
This guy, this Asian fella, who's trying to get into all these schools and suing because they're not letting him in with his high GPA, over 4, and his almost perfect SAT scores.
Right.
Listen to me, everyone. Let me explain how life works. You start off with the best of intentions. You say, we need more diversity at UCLA.
All good intention.
All good.
And then what?
Well, we need to defund the police and have community policing. You know, okay, Mrs. Pie in the sky. That sounds great. So you go, listen. UCLA does not represent enough Hispanics and enough blacks and enough whatever, you fill in the blank. So we would like them to be represented at there. And no one can argue with that. You go, good intentions. And then at some point you go, well, there are just not enough Hispanics or blacks or whatever that are going to make the cut for UCLA. So then you go, okay, we're going to have to adjust that for these people. So now you start lowering the test scores or adjusting for those people. And then at a certain
Let's turn the merit volume down.
Yes. And then at a certain point, you go, UCLA campus and enrollment is not infinite. It's finite. So we can't just go, let's let all of this in and all of that in. So then at a certain point, you go, we kind of are full. So now you go, okay, but we want diversity. All right. Who do we have the most of? Asians. Okay, so here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to up their score in order to get into UCLA, and we'll simultaneously lower black and Hispanic or whoever we have the least of so that we can balance this out. There is no such thing as just going, we're going to be inclusive. Somebody's got to get kicked out. And somebody needs to be discriminated against in the name of your inclusivity.
That is the insane thing, because you're 100%
So get off
right.
your fucking pious mountain, all you pricks.
You're 110% right.
you.
You're 4.9%.
I'm 5/4 better.
You're 5/4 better, and I'm not kidding, because to encapsulate what you just said, even intentions that are meant for inclusion and all the good stuff that everybody would recognize as this is a nice thing, end up as the most racist, discriminatory policies.
It's all a shit show.
It's a shit
Everything
show.
is let's
because
just
they take
shut,
it too far.
We'll just shut Los Angeles down for 8 days till we curb the virus,
Right.
and then we'll open up. Yeah, sure you
They
will.
take everything
sure you
too
will.
far. Me Too was the correction, the societal correction that we needed. Men needed. But then when you're going, Aziz Ansari had a date with a girl when, wait, stop for a second. Okay, start. Okay, stop for a second. It's like, he's Me Too'd for that?
This is the problem with everything. And then what? All right.